What is the CFL if it's not Canadian? It's the question every football fan in this country should be asking themselves after Stephen Brunt came on this very show on Monday and told us that the CFL was much further down the road with the XFL than just talking about talking. Until then, most of the chatter centered around a collab between the two and people pontificating on what it could be. Well, kids, what's being talked about isn't just shared analytics or best practices. It's a merger. It's a sustainable business model and potentially the loss of the 3-down game, the ratio, the 55-yard line, and the 20-yard end zones, essentially everything that makes it Canadian football. But please, don't get this twisted. I'm Canadian. I love football. So yes, I love the NFL. And yes, even here at Rogers, I love the CFL. I've covered the game on both sides of the border, multiple Super Bowls, multiple Grey Cups. If you don't know, now you know. And I firmly believe that the Canadian game is better than the American game. In fact, I don't even think it's debatable. No fair catches, the motion, the 1 yard off the ball. Hell, even the rouge forces actual gameplay, and most folks who study this thing for a living agree. But if you still need convincing, just go back and watch the 2013 Iron Bowl and tell me how you know the rouge sucks.
And Chris Davis takes it in the back of the end zone. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Oh, my God.
And if you don't know what the Iron Bowl is or haven't watched the CFL, ignorance is not a defense. Yep, that Auburn, Chris Davis play and all of its excitement, that's the CFL. RPO, run pass option, taking over the NFL. Decades old in the CFL. Short athletic quarterbacks, CFL. Attacking the edges, CFL. Short high percentage passes, Bill Walsh and the CFL. Undersized slot receiver, the Pats and the CFL. Little burners on the edges, CFL. What does this all mean? Well, that all helped the evolution of, I don't know, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Julian Edelman, Antonio Brown. Hell, 20 years ago, Lamar Jackson was just a CFL quarterback. But if I can't convince you of this, how the hell are we going to convince Americans to change the game they think they own? It's a question you have to ask yourself. If the XFL and CFL is indeed a merger, do you really think they're going to play the Canadian game? And if you're still questioning the sanity behind it, I get it. Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And the CFL tried American expansion before, and the lasting memory was less Baltimore Stallions and more the poor man's John Tesh. That's right, your boy, Dennis Casey Parks.
With growing hearts we see thee rise, the true and strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Canada. Finished strong, though. 3 years in a cloud of dust, a couple of Sacramento gold miner or Las Vegas posse references later. Most diehard CFL fans thought they were thankfully done with the American pipe dream. Just the memory of Louis Passaglia's game-winning field goal with Canadian flags draped all over BC Place, and the memory of just how we defended the true football North, strong and free. Highest rated game ever to that point. TSN came along, took Friday Night Football, built a great product. If you don't know, the Grey Cup is now among the top 10 most watched TV shows in this country almost every year. Brand new buildings in Winnipeg, revamped in Ottawa, Regina. It's proof we're good, right? Hold on just a second, diehards. That saying I busted out for American expansion, those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it, that might just reference to what happened after the failed U.S. expansion. Many of us who knew this league was worth having, worth keeping Canadian, only came when it was threatened by the Posse or the Pirates of Shreveport. But a generation later, there are many who have forgotten that. Sure, there are parts of this country where the game has thrived. I once stood out in front of Taylor Field with Ron Lancaster on game day. It was like standing with the Pope in front of the Vatican, one of the highlights of my career. But it's time that Saskatchewan and parts of Western Canada and all of the little pockets that love the CFL get a look at the forest from the trees. The game is dying in Toronto, in Vancouver, and Montreal has hit the skids, and those are the three biggest markets in Canada. The league needs to find a sustainable future and not an every 5-year bailout. Add a pandemic on top, and what the hell did you think we were going to do? When CFL Commissioner Randy Ambrosie went hat in hand to the federal government and asked for $150 million, he was nearly laughed out of the country. He came on this show and others to say maybe that was the wrong approach or the wrong headline. There was a media pile-on, there was a sports fan pile-on, and perception was just as important as reality. I get it. And even though others got hefty handouts, the CFL left empty-handed. And to make matters worse, the ask looked bad. But the end result was even worse than that perception. By some accounts, the league lost $60 to $80 million last year and stare down the pipe of whatever the heck this year is going to be. How much more can they lose? I'm here to tell you, not much more. And I'm no rocket surgeon. So if you're forced to choose between the XFL/CFL or no football at all in Canada, what do you choose? If we have to choose between the history of the Ticats, the Rough Riders, and the Bombers playing 4-down football or nothing at all, what will you choose? Listen, it's all well and good that there are people that are yelling and screaming about what the Canadian Football League means to them and how we need the ratio to ensure there are Canadians on the field, that we need the 55-yard line, or that we need 3 downs. What I'm telling you is, it might be too late. The pandemic has expedited the demise of many things that we have grown up with, that we love. And I'm afraid that we waited too long to express our love and support for something that means so much to so many Canadians. And whether you like it or not, is something that is distinctly our own. Even if you hated the CFL, admit it. You turn on the Grey Cup and you see the snow falling, you smile. I know I do. Look around. Every day we see things that make us distinctly Canadian dying by the minute. From radio and TV to mom and pop shops in the middle of town getting washed away by powerful American brands. And given all that, you have to wonder, is the Canadian Football League next? You also have to wonder if we'll learn to regret it or embrace it.